Good morning, class, and welcome to this discussion uh, on international prosecution with local participation, which is the fifth uh, topic in our course on transitional justice. Um, you will recall that in our previous discussions, we had made reference to the use of international prosecution or the establishment of international criminal tribunals, such as the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia, ICTY, and the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda, ICTR, has two recent examples of the use of international criminal tribunals as part of a transitional justice tools. In recent years, in the last 2 decades, we have had similar tribunals being established in other parts of Africa, as especially the Special Court for Sierra Leone, which was established by the international community in agreement with the government of Sierra Leone. So this Special Court for Sierra Leone is the first kind of what became known as internationalized court or hybrid court, in the sense that unlike the ICTY and the ICTR, which were strictly international criminal tribunals, both in terms of their statute and their composition, the personnel of the tribunals, the Special Court for Sierra Leone was different because its composition was made up of both local and international staff. So in that sense, it was described as an internationalized court because in terms of its character, it had both an international character and a domestic character. In this unit and in this course, the focus is on looking at how local participation in international prosecutions brings about or facilitates the process of implementing transitional justice in post-conflict societies. How does it contribute to the process of reconciliation, if at all it does? And how does it contribute to accountability and reconciliation, establishment of sustainable peace and respect for human rights in such a post-conflict context? So the main focus is on using Sierra Leone as a case study to examine this hybrid kind of criminal tribunal as a tool for transitional justice. The ad hoc criminal tribunals, ICT1 and ICTR, received a blistering criticism for many reasons, including the fact that they were too expensive and they achieved too little in terms of promoting actual reconciliation on the ground. The international community and the UN Security Council has since refrained from establishing similar courts or ad hoc tribunals of that character subsequently, and instead has opted for the hybrid criminal tribunal model, which is the internationalized sort of criminal tribunal model, which has both local and international participation between the international community and the national government of the country in question. As tools of transitional justice, hybrid criminal tribunals have become more sort of the preferred option outside the ICC. And this is for good reason, and because it promotes accountability in the transitional justice process while trying to retain local ownership. In this unit, we will examine critical questions such as whether or not the so-called hybrid criminal tribunals have been able to overcome the criticism leveled against international criminal tribunals, and how these hybrid or the hybrid character of these criminal tribunals, how they have contributed to or undermined the transitional justice process in terms of its objectives in those post-conflict countries such as Sierra Leone. Of course, we focus on Sierra Leone because the Special Court for Sierra Leone has completed its mandate, and so it is a good example in terms of us undertaking an assessment of its achievement and its failures. There will be a seminar to be presented by a student from the group who has chosen this topic as his seminar for the course. And the seminar will be presented in the course of the semester upon the roster being published. The student who has chosen this topic will be informed of the date which this seminar is to be presented, and the student is supposed to circulate the seminar presentation and relevant materials so that members of the class can engage with the paper before presentation. And of course, there will be general discussion and question and answers on the topic after the seminar. So that is how we will deal with this topic. And members of the group are expected to also study the topic before the scheduled date of the seminar presentation, so that we can have a meaningful and productive and discussion. Thank you. If you have any question, please drop me an email.